Parking Lot Pull-Up Crew, and I'd like to welcome you all to the premiere episode of the I'm Just Saying podcast, where we discuss hot topics in the NBA, past and present, along with some other personal basketball-related subjects that we really want to get off our chest. You can expect a lot of unpopular opinions, semi-biased takes, and some really hot takes. But overall, I'm really excited about this. This should be fun. So firstly, let's all introduce ourselves. My name is Sean, and you guys could go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Well, I'm Nico.
I'm Bobby.
Nico / Vici.
And we're going to start today with the NBA trade deadline and the buyout market. So we know the Brooklyn Nets ended up picking up Blake Griffin and LaMarcus Aldridge. Overrated transactions. The Lakers ended up picking up Andre Drummond. And as a Bulls fan, I have to shout out the Nikola Vucevic pickup. But we're going to start with the Brooklyn Nets. Now, everybody's saying that they're overdoing it, like they have too many players. I don't think it's the case. I think they got players that are like way past their prime, especially Blake Griffin. So they got glorified role players at this point and 3 stars, which is the basis of pretty much every championship team in the last like 15 years. But I'm going to let y'all chime in on that.
See, I don't really agree. I think they got a brick, man. They got a real good team. You got a good rotation of bigs. I definitely don't agree that Blake over the hill. I think Blake got a lot in the tank. So with Blake, LA, they gonna be decent. Like, trust me, they gonna be a good team. Because they could think about their lineup. They could put KD at the 3. You could put LA at the 4. DeAndre Jordan at the 5. Blake off the bench, playing both the spots, both the big spots. They got a good squad, but I think they still lose to the Lakers though. They don't got no defense.
Hold on.
You just took every word out of my mouth.
Hey, because he said all that just to say they was gonna still lose to the Lakers. So then what's the point of what is the point of all these transactions then?
They got a chance.
No, to me they don't. Because we know they can score the ball, cool, but who's stopping? Who's playing defense? It ain't a single defensive player on the team at any position.
And that's exactly why I kept saying they're not competing with a healthy Lakers roster. I've been saying that from the beginning.
Like Lakers, they guarding 1 through 5 at every position. They can play any style. They can switch it up. They can switch everything and not lose nothing.
The Lakers roster is perfectly constructed, bro. Like,
yeah,
it's built to run through either AD or LeBron.
It's perfectly constructed around them 2 players. But other than that, it's not they don't have a perfect squad. Because if they're not on the floor, they gonna lose. I think they need another ball handler. They need another creator. They could lose to the Nets.
Are we ignoring Dennis Schroeder?
I was just about to say, is that not why they picked up DF?
Because it was people saying the same thing about them last year, and they was just totally ignoring Rondo. And Schroeder is just a better Rondo right now.
Yeah, you're right. We got to see though. We got to see him do it in the finals. He haven't been deep in the playoffs. It's different when he go up against Kyrie Irving for a 7-game series. It's different. So, but we'll see. Okay. I think Brooklyn got a chance.
So let me ask you this: you think they gonna beat the Heat, Philly, and Milwaukee?
Yeah. Yes. I don't think none of those teams have an answer for Kevin Durant or James Harden.
I think they do.
I think the only problem they might have is Philly. I think
Philly,
they run through everybody.
Philly can defend just like the Lakers too. Actually, Philly could play just like the Lakers.
That's what I was just going to say.
I got Philly coming out the whole East.
Because
for the same reasons I got the Lakers coming out the West.
The LaMarcus Aldridge and Blake Griffin is cute and all for like offense, but who is about to guard Joel Embiid?
Hey, that's 50 every game.
If he healthy and they smart enough to just go to him pretty much every possession, they got a chance to destroy Brooklyn. And Brooklyn only chance is to outscore them. And we've seen it where multiple stars have off nights on the same night.
Yep.
So it's possible.
And see, I want to say the Philly got the number one defense in the league. I want to say if it's either them or the Lakers. The Nets defense is 29th right now.
Ain't gonna get no better with Blake Griffin and LaMarcus Aldridge. I tell you that.
And that's what I'm saying. Because neither one of them can guard nobody. They can't guard a parked car. And so you telling me
that's the series we need to look forward to. Because if Brooklyn could beat them, they just need to use that same style and take it against the Lakers. So that's what we need to look for. If they could beat them, they got a chance against the Lakers.
They're going to have to run through Philly, though. They can't go through no 7 games with Philly and then try to do that with the Lakers.
Man. And then on top of that, LeBron, the king of adjustments, dude. Yeah. The same stuff that you've been doing all playoffs, they going to work against him.
Them same problems that they would have with Joel Embiid is going to be multiplied against AD.
Oh, my God.
On top of that, they have legitimate defenders. So you're not just going to be getting easy buckets every possession like they do most teams.
And you got to remember, they signed Andre Drummond. He grabbing every rebound.
And I think over the last, I want to say, 6 or 7 years, he's averaging like 5 offensive rebounds a game.
Yes, sir.
That's a lot of extra possessions.
Yes, sir.
You don't want to be giving LeBron and AD extra possessions.
Yes, sir.
Yes. But see, I got a question about this too. We going straight to the finals. What about, like, speaking on the deadline, what we think about Miami? We think Miami could beat Milwaukee or beat Philly or possibly.
I'm not going to sleep on them. Because they did put a nice little squad together, but I don't see them competing with Brooklyn.
I think we all could agree on that. I don't think they compete with Brooklyn.
I think Brooklyn's biggest kryptonite is you got to have a big that dominates. Because if you're going to just try to outscore them with perimeter players, they're going to run you out the gym.
But we got to see if that even works against Brooklyn. We haven't really seen them. Have we seen them fully healthy go against Philly or go against the Lakers yet?
KD is MIA going off on Twitter rants.
Right. So we all agree that it's either Brooklyn or Philly coming out the East against LA.
That's my thoughts. I think Milwaukee missed their window.
Yeah, Milwaukee
should have been last year.
Oh no, Milwaukee done. The scouting part out on Giannis, so they done for until he get a jump shot.
I'm not going to completely count Miami out, and I have no faith in Boston. I have zero faith in Boston.
Yeah, I'm good on Boston. They over there underachieving. I'm good on them. We're going to have to revisit them another day because remember they used to say that Kyrie was the cancer.
Mm-hmm. They've only gotten worse since he's left.
Yeah. So we got to revisit that Kyrie team cancer because now he's looking like a prophet. Because, like, remember everything he used to warn us about them, about how they didn't know how to win and how to play basketball.
And so many superstars get, like, people speak on it like it's negative when they, like, demand so much from their teammates.
Yeah.
You should want to play with somebody like that. Like, I want to play with somebody who is demanding me to be my best. Because I know that means he's trying to win just like I'm trying to win. We should be on the same page with that. That should never be a problem.
But players these days, they sensitive. Some players, like, you talk to them crazy. They want to be gone. Niggas don't want to win for real. These days, they want to get their numbers and call it a day.
Yep. And that's why that's another reason I don't have a problem with people teaming up. That's you telling me you want to win.
But it's how you do it though.
Yeah, because how you do it. It's how the super team is put together.
Because, like, yeah, KD increased my boy Steph ring count, but I was never okay with him going to Golden State. I said that from the jump.
I loved it.
Nah. You were fourth quarter away from going to the final. You were fourth quarter away from beating them, and then you lose because you stunk it up. You and your co-star stunk it up.
That's
and you go join them right after that? No, G. I would have ran it right back. And if they beat us again, then I go somewhere else and I come back against them. Like, no, I'm not joining y'all. Like, no.
my argument always been that I'm not gonna lose to you at the gym and say, "Oh, okay, y'all, let me run with y'all." Wow, you gotta play. You gotta run it back. It don't go like that. It's not like you can't do that.
Especially they was legit 2 minutes away from repeating as champions.
Yeah. But see, my whole opinion stems from I don't look at the personal stuff. I look strictly basketball. And if you look strictly basketball, it was no better NBA situation for Kevin Durant than the Golden State Warriors. And he should have retired there.
But you could say that for any player though, because anyone could have won that with anybody. If Paul George would have went there, they would have lost nothing. You get the same effect.
But he didn't. Kevin Durant did, and he should have stayed.
Nah.
I hear you.
Just like, hey, Miami shouldn't have never broke up. Boston shouldn't have broke up in the 80s or whatever. All them teams should have stuck together. Shaq and Kobe should have stuck together.
But see, they all broke up for different reasons.
But none of them were basketball reasons.
But KD left the Warriors for basketball reasons. He left because A, the style that he thought fit him didn't really fit him like he wanted it to. And B, he got tired of all that criticism where he won back-to-back finals, but no one labeled him as the best player of the game.
That's not a basketball reason, though. That's a personal reason. That's you being sensitive. Who cares what people say? They're not putting that work in the gym. Just because you play with other great players, it don't take away from your greatness. We're not going to sit here and act like he wasn't giving people buckets.
Oh, no.
They're playing great defense.
KD going to be KD wherever he is.
He won games. He put games away when it mattered.
Well, so did Clay, and so did Steph.
Hey, that's why
See what I'm saying?
That's why it's a team sport, and that was the best team for him. I mean, I guess he ain't really downgrade.
So you basically saying that every top free agent should leave and sign with the team that won the NBA championship the year before, or the team that
I'm saying everybody should play wherever they want to play.
Okay, yeah.
It's your career. We don't control these people's life. At the end of the day, they're gonna do what they want to do.
Yeah.
Some just more sensitive than others. Like, we gotta accept that this is what the league is now. The league is stacked rosters. That's what it is now. It's not gonna change anytime soon.
Sad.
And if you as a general manager are not adding players that want to come play on your team that's stacked up, then you're not doing your job right.
I agree with that.
Like, who was finna tell Kevin Durant, nah, we good. We got Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. We'll pass on you. We'll pass on one of the greatest players to ever play the game. Goodbye. Go find somewhere else to play. No, it's not happening.
But this is my thing, though. As a player, this is how I think about it, though. Me personally, I want to be the man because I want everything that comes with. Because I want everything that comes with being the man. I want to be labeled the best player in the game. And me personally, if I know for a fact that's going to be diminished, if I'm teaming up with players who are equally as good as me, or someone who the year before arguably was already better than me as it was, no, I'm not joining you because I know that's not going to do me no favors. I want to beat you, and I want to beat everybody that's in front of me, so I can unquestionably say, okay, I beat all y'all, so now I'm the man. See what I'm saying? No, they don't have that mentality no more. Now these days, it's how can I get this guaranteed ring? How can I get straight there? Like, I don't like that. That's why, to me, I say the hardest championship I've ever seen was the Dirk 2011 ring because he ran the gauntlet. He went through Kobe, Bron, Wade, I think KD, Russ, and all them, Tim Duncan. He ran through everybody and got the ring. To me, that's
one of my favorite title runs. One of my favorite titles.
I'm saying, and I don't even like Dirk for real because he beat Bron in them. But
I loved it. But
the best thing about him, that's the highlight of my life. What do you mean?
But to me, that's the greatest ring I've ever seen because he ran through legit the entire top 10 of NBA players,
Hall of Fame,
and took them all out by himself. Well, not by himself, but you get what I'm saying. He's the lone star.
They had a great squad.
I just don't want people to pretend like this super team stuff just started with KD. Like,
no,
it's been going on since basketball was a thing. Like,
Yeah, no, it
It's
never.
The
always
early days Celtics,
you
the
can say Kobe and
Lakers.
Shaq was a super team. Mike and Scotty a super team. Like that shit. If you got the
No,
best,
Is it
no,
more
no.
so? Is it more so? The problem is like when it's like artificially manufactured, like through free agency and stuff. Like if it's through the draft, it's okay, right?
If it's
of
through the
course.
draft, you ride with that because that's all good player development. You can't stop that. That's something different. Like to me, the 20s, the 73 win Warriors wasn't a super team because I think four of their five core was through the draft. The only one they didn't draft was Iguodala.
Okay, so let me ask you this: if a team drafts three players who all become like considered top three players, like the top three players in the NBA, but they all got drafted to the same team, would you say that the other two of them need to leave and get their own team?
No, not at all. Not
No,
me, but I would think that the regular NBA fan and the NBA media would blow it up and say, "Yeah, one of y'all have to leave to show that you're not the third best player on the team." Because if you got three superstars, one have to sacrifice. So
See, and if they decide to stick that out, all of their legacies would be diminished for what?
they would be though. They would be unless you just those three all averaged 20 points and they all were all NBA. Yes, they legacy would be diminished, and then even then, because it'll be the big question would be like, can you win it by yourself? That'd be the big question that the media, not real hoopers.
I was just about to say because that's all it is. I give you an example like Boston. To me, Boston should be a super team, but they're not. But their core is homegrown, which is Tatum, Marcus Smart, and my boy Jaylen Brown. I don't count Kemba because he huff right now. So.
The Charlotte,
but my thing with Boston is eventually because of how Tatum and Jaylen Brown especially are like ascending. Eventually, the media finna be like, okay, yeah, y'all so and so, but y'all gonna have to split to prove that you can do so and so by yourself, like bro just said. Like I guarantee you, in the next 3 years, you can book this one. Either Tatum or Jaylen Brown gonna leave for that exact reason.
See, this what could stop that though. I still think homegrown teams, super teams, they just super teams did the right way. And then it would have to be, I think, at least three superstars. You mean at least three superstars and two great role players. 2 to 3 great role players that make a super team.
So, and you also what you basically saying is it's a such thing as a good super team and a bad super team. Like the homegrown version is okay, but the free agency built super team is a no.
Yeah, I think the homegrown super team is respected. It's y'all did what y'all supposed to do. Y'all built y'all team up. You got better, and y'all became a super team. The free agency super team was a team you just bought. You bought all the DLC on 2K, all the VC, and just started off right at the top. Like, of course, that you can't agree to that. But like you said, multiple teams, super teams. So like Brooklyn, they're a super team. If we go consider them a super team, let's say the Clippers, they are a lower version of a super team. They're not in the same tier as Brooklyn. Let's say, like we just said with Boston. So I think it's tiers. You could say that it's tiers of super teams, or we just need to keep it real and just call the super teams great teams and the middle of the pack good teams. We probably need to stop using the term super teams because nowadays I think the super team shit finna go away.
It ain't going nowhere.
I think it's only finna be 2 superstars. This KD with the Warriors, I think that's gonna go away. I don't think people want their legacy diminished how KD shit diminished. So we finna see, in my opinion, I think we gonna see 2 superstars for the next 10 years on teams. It's not gonna be nothing too stacked. And then niggas greedy in the NBA. They don't want to win.
2 superstars? I think you mean 2 super teams, right?
No. I'm saying 2 superstars per team. It's not gonna be 3 or 4 superstars no more. Because look at it now. Look how the top teams is now, basically, excluding Brooklyn. Look at the top teams. All 2 superstars.
Yeah. Superstars that's a whole nother thing.
Well,
I said a lot of teams got two superstars.
Well, I disagree. Two superstars on one team don't make you a super team. It makes you a good team.
No, I think it's three.
To me, it's about the whole team. Like at least, really, not even say the whole team. That starting lineup. If you got let's say three superstars and two like super above average, like borderline all-star level role players, you a super team.
Mm-hmm.
Because really, the role players is what's making the super team. We know what the superstar is gonna do, but what exactly is what you're missing that's putting y'all over the edge? That's making it unfair. That's where them super role players come in.
I can agree with that.
So, what teams y'all think super teams? Let me hear a team from both of y'all.
For me, hold on. For me, before I can even give a definition of a super team, you got to define superstars for me. Because to me, a super team would be three superstars surrounded by good role players. And to me, a superstar is somebody that can carry a franchise at least to the playoffs on his own. So, like
these days, superstar is getting thrown around.
That was my thing. Like people are too quick to call people superstars, and I don't consider two superstars and a star super team. You got to be three superstars.
It's only 7 superstars in the league to me.
Only 7.
Only 7. It's Steph, Bron, Harden, KD, Jokic, Joel, and Luka. That's it. And you know what? We'll throw Kawhi in there too.
Did you say Giannis?
Really,
He didn't even say Giannis.
You didn't say Giannis.
That's tough.
I know, man.
I definitely.
Giannis gets his team to the. Because I agree. I think a superstar is a player that could get his team to the playoffs by himself. No matter what his roster is, he go get them to the playoffs. And
if you want to throw Giannis in there, I'm not gonna argue with you. But me personally, because he's so limited, like I can't throw him in there.
What about Jimmy Butler?
I mean, what is he limited in besides shooting? He could do literally everything else.
But see, all right, we gonna take it there. We can go
whole thing on Giannis. You disrespect.
You did. You definitely just dragged that man's name through.
I hear you, but he a superstar, bro. Like he could win a game himself. He could go a week straight and win a game for the Bucks every game. Like he is the main reason why they're
going that far. I ain't going. He'll be the main reason for sure, but I ain't gonna say he like. All right, so look, this is my thing with Giannis, right? To me, you know what's coming with him. To me, he has 1, maybe 3 particular skills total that he max out, and he just don't develop nothing else. He really been the same player for about 5 years. Only thing that changed for him is just his possessions. He takes more and more shots every year. But to me, he's been the same player since 2015.
But it's translated into winning, right?
But to me, it hasn't translated into winning because of him. It's translated to winning because over time, the Bucks have supplied him with the right pieces that fit his deficiencies. They didn't become a real threat in the East until Chris Middleton developed.
That was Budenholzer to me. I think it was once they got Budenholzer, that's when Budenholzer moved Giannis to the 4, and it was a wrap. Once Giannis went to the 4, Chris Middleton went to the 3. It changed their game for them. It opened the flow up. That's what made Giannis a better player, and it made him a rebounder.
Because what it did was,
we gonna hold it against him that his coach catered to his skill set?
No, I don't hold nothing against him. It's just, to me, it's about 8 more players that I would grab before I would grab him. If I'm going through a talent pool of about the top 20 players, I'm not getting the Giannis name until probably about like 9 or 10.
I mean, it's fair to shuffle the order of the superstars. That's like, because you know how I am. I don't really think statistics tell the whole story. I like to use eye test. So you can make that argument just off of that alone. I'm not going to disrespect my man like that.
Because to me, he what's a good analogy? He like a Shaq that's desperately looking for his Kobe.
Never thought of that.
I mean, the Shaq comparison just off play style alone is good.
And I'm not saying he's Shaq, but I'm saying like Shaq. But it's like the way Shaq it's like the way you needed to Shaq needed to be set up. Shaq couldn't get his own shot. Shaq had to go get post up position, and you had to throw it down to him. That's Giannis. But what happens when you cut all that out? What happens when I put that wall in front of you like they've been doing the last 4 years, and he can't do nothing with it?
Miami did him.
Right. That's like Miami did him, like Boston did him the year before, like Boston did him the year before.
That goes to that other point though, where no player is moving on his own. His help was he's getting people open shots in those situations when they wall up. People just missing, and he's still putting up his 30
and 14. Like, we can't forget that rebounding, man. The rebound is huge.
A good defensive team is gonna know a superstar gonna get his regardless. So we're gonna slow him down as much as we can, but our main focus is gonna be to lock everybody else down.
I hear what you're saying, but hear me out. The Heat hit Giannis with a 2-3 zone, and he didn't know what to do. Right?
True.
You hit LeBron with a 2-3 zone. You know what he's doing? He's shooting over it.
Now he's doing that. We got to remember, Giannis is still young. Like, LeBron couldn't shoot for a long time neither.
No, LeBron could always shoot. He just wasn't. He was a streaky shooter. Giannis straight up can't shoot.
He could make a shot. He's capable of making a shot. He just don't have the confidence to take it.
Who jumper you living with? You living with Giannis jumper, or you living with a young LeBron?
I'm living with them both. I'm turning my back on both of them.
They kind of real. They real similar. It's just young LeBron just did so much more than just going to the cup. LeBron didn't look for like, I'm finna go through the lane, Euro step and dunk everybody. It wasn't that. Young LeBron going to the cup and looking to kick it out for that 3, looking to probe, looking for the post up, the mid range every now and then. Like Giannis, that's another thing. Giannis not going for that mid at all. It's easy to guard him. Once he blow past you, just send that help. But you can't say Giannis not the fourth best player in the league, bro. Well,
you're the fourth best player in the league.
You a Steph? I forgot. You go put Steph for. I'm gonna give you that.
I'll put Steph over him too. So
I was about to say I'm
in agreement with that.
I can't put Steph there.
I think you can argue order all you want. Like, I don't think you should disrespect him and say he's not a superstar. That's cap to me.
Yeah.
I told you, if you want to say he's a superstar, he is. But to me, I need to see more. Like, to me, them MVPs, he got hollow. To me.
Hey, man. They regular season awards, bro.
For sure. That's what I said, they hollow. To me, the MVPs that only matter to me are the ones that led to the championships that same season.
I hear that too.
That's fair.
Me personally. At the very least, you got to at least make it to the finals. At the very least, if you going out if you win MVPs and going out the second round, I'm not talking to you. We ain't nothing to talk about.
I could respect that opinion. I mean, Giannis last season, that was one of the most clear MVP seasons I've ever seen. So
no, because Braun cut on about midway through, and then the league ended, and low key killed his MVP run.
His numbers was not touching Giannis's, bro, on both sides of the floor.
It wasn't even the numbers though. It was the.
I mean, what else can you go for MVP voting? What else do you have to judge? Because if we don't just talk about value, then yeah, LeBron MVP every year.
I was about to say, because sometimes it ain't about the numbers; it's about the story, the narrative, the impact.
Wait, actually, hold on. I'm a fanboy a little bit here. You could alternate years between LeBron and Steph.
No,
you right.
MVP.
Not that many years, man. Just
right.
I think.
All right, how about this? Give LeBron 3 in a row. Give Steph 1. If he was going to go off of value.
If we going on value, you can only say Steph LeBron. Nobody raises their talent level like.
And KD to me, I'm not going to disrespect KD.
And Harden, go Harden there too.
Fuck it, throw the whole Brooklyn Nets in there. No, I'm just playing. Just throw the whole Brooklyn Nets in there.
Yeah,
but now they do have two legitimate MVP candidates. So they, by my definition, are a super team. Because I do think Kyrie at this point in his career, maybe not younger Kyrie in Cleveland, couldn't lead his team to the playoffs, but this Kyrie, I believe, will lead his team to the playoffs.
No,
they are a super team. They have good role players. They don't have the right type of role players, but they have good role players. So they are a super team. The Lakers, they like how you was talking about those tiers. I will put them like a tier under super team just because they only got two legitimate superstars that could carry. But they role players like is what almost escalates them to super team level because their role players fit perfectly with their roster. Especially when they added Andre Drummond. They getting every rebound now. You good luck scoring in the paint on them.
But see, I
gotta go through the perimeter defense just to get there. I don't want no smoke with the Lakers. Lakers in 4. That roster is so well put together. Like I say it so many times too, but like every time I look at their roster, I'm like, bro, they GM did their thing. Well, LeBron did his thing.
Right, tell the truth. LeBron did his thing.
He did his thing, man.
The GM, tell the truth.
And Rich Paul.
Yeah, who runs the NBA, him and LeBron.
Oh, my soul, he run the NBA. The NBA is low-key LeBron and just being a mob boss.
So do we want to even touch on the Bulls at all? I kind of want to because
we can.
Bulls.
You think they deserve it? Go ahead. We go top it up about these no defense plan that has Bulls.
Yeah.
I can't stand that before. First off.
Yeah, I forgot. You got to be the most anti-Chicago nigga I know.
Like, so first off, that's what everybody needs to know. Like, I can't stand the Bulls. Can't stand them.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be
to him, Michael Jordan's overrated and
no
85 Bears were trash and
I love myself. Who?
He said what?
I didn't say that.
Let me stop.
I'm
right now rooting for the Chicago team.
Scratch the record. Hold on.
I'm just proud that they actually went out and did something.
I am too.
Like something that wasn't just like this is gonna make a difference. Like depending on how they approach this offseason coming up, like we could legit build like a consistent 3-seed team.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
because my boy Levine is there. Ain't nobody gonna be disrespecting my boy Levine. That boy is a problem.
Yes.
Hey,
now we just gotta get
like a top 15 player, G.
Carrying, bro.
Mm-hmm.
But is he a superstar?
Not yet.
If he carries them to the playoffs this year and next, I will stamp him as a superstar.
What's his numbers? And he like 28, 5-5 on like 50% and 45 from 3.
And about 80, I'm gonna say like 85 from the line.
Let me see. Let me pull up the number.
How many points do you have to score to be considered a superstar if you don't make the playoffs?
You got to give me at least 30 minimum.
Well, to me,
and it got to be efficient. It can't be 30 and you shooting 38% from the field. 27,
to me, it ain't
25, 5 rebounds, 5 assists.
To me, it ain't about the points. It's about your production as a whole and what your impact on the game is. Like
that's where all those advanced analytics come in.
I'm about to say because Bradley Beal out there scoring 35 a game and they not stiff in the playoffs. Then to me, he ain't no superstar. He a star.
I mean, he a star. Yeah, that's where Levine is on that tier 2 right now. He's a star. But if he's carrying them to the playoffs the next couple of years, you got to give him his stamp. In my opinion.
I'm surprised at Washington though. I thought they'd be a lot better. Like a lot
I knew that wasn't about to work. I already knew it wasn't about to work.
Nah, they went on the crown.
But yeah, and what's crazy is Levine's scoring is going down, and it's because I think he's starting to listen to outside voices that's saying he's just scoring and is like he's a ball hog and his empty stats. So like I noticed a lot of games in the first half, he's not really aggressive. And then he'll let the team get down like 15, and he'll be like, all right, you see what you do when I'm not shooting, now give me the ball. And then he'll run off like 20-something in the second half. It reminded me of that year. You remember that year when the Lakers played Phoenix in the playoffs? I think they had got up 3-1 on. Yeah, it was the year they got up 3-1 on them.
Kobe stopped.
Yeah, Kobe quit on him. Kobe quit on him.
Kobe didn't quit. He proved his point because everybody kept saying he was a ball hog and he was just shooting and he wasn't trying to get his teammates involved. So he was like, "All right, you want to see what it looks like when I don't shoot?" And he took Game 7 off.
No, he quit on them, Jay. It ain't no way you can free phrase that. Your boy quit.
He was proving his point, man.
Bro, that's what Derrick Rose did. If y'all don't remember that playoff,
his point.
That
2015
playoff against fuck the Bulls, him and Jimmy Butler, Derrick Rose did that. Like, all right, since y'all want to let Jimmy be the number one hit, let's see what happened. And we lost.
It's a toxic mentality to me, but I just thought that was really funny because I remember watching. I was like, "Damn, Kobe, you're not gonna take a shot, bro." He's feeding freaking what was that dude? I don't even remember the dude's name.
Him and
Mark Madsen and. As he should have, because I'm Kobe Bryant. Don't tell me I shouldn't be shooting as much.
Yeah. Nah, Kobe.
Do you want me shooting or do you want Smush Parker shooting?
I want you to make the right play. I'm wide open.
The right play is, man, look, if I'd rather take a Kobe fadeaway over 3 defenders than a wide open Smush Parker 3.
You a wild boy.
I guarantee you the percentages on Kobe's contested mid-range is higher than Smush Parker's open 3.
You a wild boy.
I guarantee it. Worst guard in NBA history. My team.
And this is why LeBron was taking JV squads to the finals, while Kobe couldn't make the playoffs until he got.
Kobe was in the West too. Don't act like the West was just peaches and cream compared to the East. Man, he at least got there.
Kobe got a half-ass Lakers squad to the playoffs.
But that team was so bad. Imagine your starter center being Kwame Brown. How you feel? How you feel?
He's telling you, Kobe, don't pass me the ball. I'm scared. Really Kobe
and then, if you don't want to give it to Kwame Brown, just give it to Smush Parker.
Sir,
how you feeling? How about Brian Cook? You confident?
Sir, I'm taking Kwame Brown over who I had Drew Gooden as my starting center.
I'm not.
That's right. That's what I had to live with back when LeBron was taking these weak ass final squads to the squads.
Hey, wait! What squad besides the one where he played San Antonio? What other squad was weak? Because that got to be the only one you talk about as quote unquote weak. Even though I disagree with that.
Every single squad he was on from 03, his rookie year, to he left in 2010 was ass-tastic.
The last 3-4 years, he had good teams.
No, he did not.
I want to hear these bad teams he had.
The teams he had, they went as far as they went because LeBron's greatest skill was maximizing the talent that he had with him. If you actually watch those damn games, they were so dependent on. You know who they was? They're the equivalent of the team that Steph is on right now. Because they are hot garbage with Steph on the floor and without Steph on the floor. But at least with Steph on the floor, they got a chance because Steph on the floor. Because Steph got to do freaking everything. It's the same thing with LeBron. LeBron had to. I remember. I'll put it like this. It's no coincidence that every time LeBron leave a franchise, the franchise go down immediately. When he left the Cavaliers in 2010, they were immediately the worst team in the league after winning 66 games the year before. And they lost nobody but LeBron.
Nobody but? I don't know about that.
Look it up, G. They went from 66
So he's the only player that left the roster. Nobody else. They didn't make any other moves.
They went from 66 wins, G, to 16.
I hear your point, though.
To 16.
But my whole thing is, I've always said this about every team. I don't think there's no such thing as a weak NBA Finals roster because it's not like nobody's going out there playing 1-on-5.
Shit.
All right, so it was LeBron on the court by himself. It was 4 No other 4 people were on his team with Cavaliers jerseys on.
So
he was
what about the
5
Allen
minutes to
Iverson
Spurs.
Philly roster? That
I
was
was just about to say.
Don't get me started on this Allen Iverson, bro. Oh my God! Please don't get me started on it.
Hey, I was just about to say it.
That wasn't a weak team.
No, because
What?
people, I think a lot of people confuse a team being weak with them only having one scorer.
No.
Yeah, Iverson was the only scorer on that team, but
No.
that was a great defensive team.
I was just about to say, they were a defensive juggernaut. So they could afford.
They had
to shoot so many
the
shots.
defensive player of the year in Mutombo, who averaged a double-double that year, averaged like 4 blocks. They had the 6th man of the year, Aaron McKee. Coach of the year, Larry Brown. And don't even get me started on Allen Iverson's inefficiency. Like, they won in spite of him sometimes.
No, bro. This the thing. Yes, AI shot a horrible percentage. But when you the only guy on your team who can get a bucket, you 6 feet, you take most of your shots in the paint. Bro, the AI probably shot the ball like 25 to 30 times a game. I bet the next dude on the team shot the ball probably 10 times. Like, he's shooting the ball, late shot clocks, getting fouled, going to the basket, not getting a call. Like, of course, he's 6 feet. You gotta get AI a pass. Like, he gotta get a pass with his percentage. Like, he never played with a great score. None of them years he shot bad percentages. When he played with Melo, he shot good percentage. So
No, he didn't. He didn't actually.
LeBron didn't always play, but look, LeBron didn't always play with a great score, and he was still efficient somehow.
LeBron,
but you know what LeBron did that Allen Iverson never did? He evolved his game. If you see you're not constantly getting calls at the basket, why do you keep going there? You're one of the best ever at creating space. So I'm pretty sure you can find you a good open mid-range.
Speak on it.
Or if you see that they're going to keep doubling you when you try to pull up for the mid-range, trust your damn teammates.
But look.
You had solid shooters around him. It's not like he had people who couldn't shoot around him.
But y'all, think about
he was trying to do too much, bro.
He was in the playoffs every year. Every year, AI got his team to the playoffs. Never with a score. He beat teams and made it. He got it out the first round. He better than Tracy McGrady.
I guess he only got the first round one time.
That's major cap. Give me T-Mac over AI any day.
Hey, twice on a Sunday.
No, I'm taking AI. I'm taking AI.
AI's whole career is based off the 2001 finals.
Yes, sir.
If you take that away from him, how much are we really speaking about Allen Iverson? A finals that they shouldn't have even been in.
Bro, the same way
I firmly believe them referees cheated Milwaukee that year, bro, because they just wanted to see Allen Iverson in the finals against LA.
Hey, you want to talk about it? Because I got research on it.
Now, they had a squad.
You want to hear these performances in the Eastern Conference Finals AI had? Game 1, 13 for 35.
Speak on it.
34 points, 3 turnovers. They won.
Who won? They won.
Game 2, 5 for 26. 16 points, 3 turnovers, and they lost. Also 0 for 8 from 3.
Okay.
Game 3, he didn't play. Game 4, 10 for 32, 28 points, 0 for 5 from 3. They did win, but look how inefficiently he shot, and they still won.
They won.
Scoring in spite of him. I'm not done. 5 for 27 in Game 5, 15 points, and they won. But Game 6, 14 for 33, 46 points, and they lose.
Speak on it.
Game 7, when they started, oh my God, they called so many fouls on Milwaukee that game. Now, this was his best game of the series. He went 17 for 33, 44 points, and he went 4 for 6 from 3. But listen to those stat lines, bro. When your team is winning and you just went 5 for 27, you are automatically disqualified from saying you carry somebody anywhere. That game alone proved he didn't carry them. That whole team got them there. 5 for 20. Man, let LeBron go 5 for 27.
Never hear it.
We'll be picking him apart for the next 20 years for that game. But AI gets a pass because he's 6 feet? No.
Yeah,
no,
AI really AI didn't have nobody. Like LeBron James.
Clearly, he has somebody.
That's defensively, bro. Yes, defensively, they kept him in the game. He had a bad game. His team as a whole, defensively, they kept him in the game. But offensively, he got to take those shots, bro.
Yes,
like,
that was my whole point, though. That was my whole point, though. Offense ain't the only thing that makes a whole team good. You could say, yeah, he was the only legitimate scorer, but at the end of the day, it took the whole team to get them there because that defense was so good. He was able to go 5 for 27 and 14 for 33 and 5 for 26. But he contributes
to the defensive side too, though.
He got passing lane steals, yeah. Yeah, he did that.
That counts the points. That's turnover.
Yeah, I'm giving him that. But we're not gonna sit here and act like nobody else contributed, like he was just out there playing by himself. No, I'm not.
Of course, we're not gonna say that. But
I have no respect for that season. That season was a bunch of bull to me. All these terrible performances.
Who he beat in the playoffs to have the number 1 seed with that roster. Like, yeah, offense ain't the only side, but you do got to score. I don't think I'm not having no team where I have one person who scores and the rest of the guys just play defense. You're not gonna win like that. You barely gonna make the playoffs.
Milwaukee was robbed.
Milwaukee had a squad that year. I'm not gonna say they was robbed, but
them referees.
Allen Iverson outplayed them.
See, they got cheated.
See, that's a story for another day.
Invisible fouls and stupid technical fouls, and man.
So, but do you agree that AI is a superstar? You agree to that, right?
Yeah, I can agree he's a superstar because he carried his team to the playoffs for the most part. But at the end of the day, when they got to the finals, it was because the whole team had something to do with it.
So where do you put him in the shooting guard category, on the shooting guard totem pole? Where is he?
Ooh. I gotta go through some names here. We got MJ, Kobe, D-Wade.
Yep.
James Harden is better than him.
James Harden passes him up. Okay,
sure.
I will give him that.
He stepped over him like AI stepped over Tyronn Lue. Clyde Drexler is better than him.
No.
Ooh.
No.
Yes.
AI
Clyde Drexler took his team to the finals in the West.
Okay.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
I think an AI team beat them, but that's me. That's probably be it.
Especially not that team that y'all. Okay, so that team good enough for AI to beat them Blazers, but at the same time, the team not good. I don't understand it.
AI, bro. AI carries them. They don't sniff the playoffs without him, bro. That's the thing.
And you think Portland does without Clyde Drexler?
I was about to say you can't say that because you can say that for a lot of players, a lot of teams.
So
I'll give Iverson 6, but I'm not putting him above them other people.
Okay, hold on. So if you put Clyde Drexler on that Philly team, do they do the same thing? Do he carries them to the playoffs on his back? Like
is he getting the same number of shots that Iverson is getting? Is he taking the exact same amount of shots? Yes, because he's gonna be way more efficient. Way more efficient.
I don't think he got the game to do it.
Imagine you carrying somebody to the finals, but you shooting 38%, and it's a carry. Get out of here, man.
Sometimes if that
defense wasn't so good, they wouldn't have made it out of the first round. To be honest, with the way he was shooting the whole playoffs.
If the defense wasn't good, they probably would have had another offensive player.
But they didn't. But you know what they did have? Amazing defense. And even the Lakers felt it in game one. Even the Lakers felt that defense in game one. I mean, except for Shaq, because,
yeah,
I wish I could just be bigger and stronger than everybody.
And the crazy thing about Iverson that gets overlooked, when everybody talk about that 50 ball he dropped in game one, nobody ever peeps that he shot the ball 42 times to get that 50.
18 for 41, and he only had 48. He didn't even score 50.
Oh, okay, 48. I knew it was a high 40 number.
41 shots to get.
But you know what matters when you get all the points?
Inefficient bum.
The win.
Yeah, then they got dusted the rest of the series, so.
I hear you.
Well, that's where we disagree at. I'm biased to Allen. I love him.
I'm not saying he's not great. He's a superstar. He's one of the greatest, but I just feel like he always gets too much credit for that year.
I could agree with that. I could.
So let me ask you this: what constitutes as a carry job?
I mean, Allen Iverson's was close to being a carry job.
Come on.
My only thing with him is he was not
job.
efficient doing it. You got to be efficient when you're doing it, bro. Because, man, you could take so many players from the NBA and tell them to go shoot 45 times, and they going to more than likely get you the same 40 Iverson got you.
I feel that.
It's a mentality, too, though. I think it's a certain mentality that come with that. I don't think just any player could just go out there and say, I'm finna shoot that bitch 40 times and we finna win. After this is my 20 times, he probably get discouraged and his shot ain't falling and all right, I ain't gonna shoot no more.
My criteria for carrying is just too high, bro. I don't even know if it's too many players to league that meet it.
This is my thing though. To me, a lot of times if you're the right player, you don't need to shoot the ball 40 times to carry a team.
Exactly.
You're right.
You really need about 25 shots. And then set your teammates up in the right spots. They can give you the other points that you was lacking before because you utilizing them as they should be. To me, looking at those Philly rosters, I watch old games all the time in its entirety, bro. To me, Iverson didn't even need to shoot the ball 40 times like he did every single game.
Didn't trust his teammates.
Right, he didn't trust his teammates. That was his mentality. I've watched interviews where he said that he wished he would have just got them more involved because to him, in his mind, he felt like he was the only one that could do it because that was just his play style.
He had the same mentality that people knock Kobe for, but they credit AI for the same thing.
Yeah. And at the same time, Iverson had an ego. Iverson wanted to be the guy to do that. If Iverson just changed his play style just to pass the ball just a little bit more, he would have got more out of them teammates. They wouldn't have won that. They wouldn't have won that series with the Lakers regardless, no matter what he did.
That's a fact.
But their chances would have increased dramatically if he just started making the right plays, get the teammates more involved. He legit sometimes would go out there playing 1-on-5.
He tried to do it in Denver too when he had Melo.
And I was just about to get to that because you said that he never played with elite teammates. He did. He had a roster where it was him, Carmelo, Marcus Camby,
JR was there, right?
Smith,
yep.
J.R. Smith, Birdman, all that. And
Birdman.
He's one of my favorite teams.
And he was still the exact same player. That's why they shipped him out.
And when Billups came
in with the same roster, and they
elevated
the Western Conference Finals, and all they did was swap out Iverson for Chauncey Billups.
Yes, Chauncey was a way better fit. Chauncey's a defender. It's a way better fit. But to AI defense,
Chauncey Billups is not no defender.
Chauncey Billups is a defender at his position. He could guard. He's not. You can't expose him. Chauncey Billups go hold it down offensively and defensively at the point guard. Set niggas up, everything. So yeah, it was a way better fit. But to AI defense, he shot the best in his career. Them years.
Yeah, he did. He did have his. I can say that he did have his best shooting numbers with Denver.
He went from below average to average. Okay, whoop-de-fucking
yeah. Like I'm not his percentages wasn't great, but they did. Bro, I mean, you can only go up from 38%.
25.7 assists and 45% from the field. That's
in 07 he shot 43%, and 08 he shot 40%.
Listen, I hear what you're saying, but I'm not impressed with 45%. When we got players that shooting not historic.
You got Melo on your team. Your percentage should be over 50 because you're not getting as much attention.
I was just about to say on that roster, where like legit they can get scoring from J.R. Smith, from Iverson, from Melo, from Kenyon Martin. No, I'm not impressed with 45%.
I can say this though. I will give him this. If they didn't run into the Lakers, they was gonna run through the Western Conference. That's a fact.
I don't think they would have got past the Spurs.
No, they was gonna lose to the Spurs because they lost to the Spurs in the playoffs the year before when they first got 8. So I'm pretty sure they would have lost.
I'm thinking of the year with Billups. I'll take that back. I was thinking of the year with Billups. That team would have ran through the West. But Kobe gonna Kobe.
Look, I even give you Kobe. For example, that year without Shaq, that first year, I think it was 04.
Kobe 6'5".
Kobe, no, but see, listen what I'm saying. The first year Shaq left, and it was just Kobe. They missed the playoffs because Kobe was just jacking shots. He wasn't getting them involved. The very next year, he was still jacking shots, but he changed how he was jacking his shots. He would let them eat for the first 3 quarters. In the fourth quarter, he jacking everything. Because at that point, he's already established that he got them involved. His players, they got their rhythms going.
It's the way Zach LaVine playing right now. That's exactly.
Right. It's the same. It's the same way Zach LaVine play. Absolutely. But see, the thing that hurts the Bulls though is that they don't know how to they can't close games.
Yeah.
I remember one game where Zach was going for the game winner, and Denzel Valentine bumped him and got in the way and cost him the game. Like they don't know how to win.
The thing too, Kobe and Allen Iverson, different type of scores. You got to look at it. Kobe gets to his spot. Kobe has a spot. He get into it. He want to shoot. AI spot under the basket. So,
see, that's another common misconception about him. His game was more mid-range pull-ups than anything. His highlights is at the basket. But when you look at the majority of his shots, it's him trying to break somebody down and then he take a foul line jumper.
Yeah. Allen Iverson was a mid-range puller. But it's different. Like
and in the playoffs, he was a mid-range misser.
But I wouldn't say he going into the game saying, I'm finna get to my spot at the free throw line and pour that. That wasn't what he looked for. He looked for...
You know what I think it really was? I don't think he had a game plan. I think he was just like, I'm about to go out here and hoop.
I think that too, though. Like, that's why it's different.
Iverson
never... I don't think he was the type of watch film every day and think about how he could do something different in the situation. I think he had the mentality of, look, I'm Allen Iverson. You can't guard me one-on-one.
Yeah, he was a playground hooper.
Mm-hmm.
His mentality was,
that's just going back to what we were saying, though. He never elevated his game. Yeah. He could have been so much better than what he was.
Because he could have been so much better in Denver. Denver could have did something. I don't see, like that team y'all just said, Kenyon Martin, Camby, JR, they had a squad. Like,
yeah, you think if Allen Iverson
losing the first round
didn't change his game to fit that team, that you think they still would have got rid of him? No. He would have still been there. But they saw what was up. Even when he was like at the end of his career, talking about he didn't want to come off the bench. Like, who do you think you are, bro? You 6 feet and you old.
Yeah.
Come off the bench.
Well,
6 feet is generous too.
At that point, he wasn't necessarily old. He was only like, I think, 30 at that point.
I think he got to the point where he ended up going back to. I think he went to the Grizzlies first, and then he ended up going back to Philly. Like he still was talking about he didn't want to come off the bench when clearly his career was on the tail end.
Oh, you talking about at the very? I thought you were talking about like immediately.
Yeah, he still didn't want to come off the bench. That's why he retired.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because I'd rather retire than come off the bench.
And it's crazy. It came out of nowhere for AI, man. The year Denver traded him, he was not the same.
I already knew what it was though. Like, I think that hit his ego a lot. Because the first time he got traded, it was because he wanted to get traded.
Right.
The second time, he was like, "Okay, they saying they don't need me. I'm used to telling other people I don't need them."
That's tough. That's my boy AI though. We can argue about him all day.
I love arguing about missed mid-range shots.
That ain't never his nickname. Call him Mr.
$1 million move brick. Not in the regular season. On the regular season, he knocking it down. Playoff, boing.
Bro, he got out the first round.
He did.
He got out of the first round all the time.
Okay, fellas, we got to wrap it up because she said she's been waiting an hour and a half.
All right, we can just pick this up next week. So, anybody that's listening, thanks for tuning in to the Parking Lot Pull Up podcast. We'll have links to social media in the description. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see y'all next week.
Peace. I'm on y'all ass next week, goddamn.
You ain't on nothing.
Yeah, I'm on y'all ass too, low key.